Hey guys, welcome back to the world, and I'm going to give you guys a slight recap because A, it's been a while since I made a video on this place, and B, well, this whole mud town is actually a side project for another project, and if you might remember, if we go down here, yeah, I believe it's this way, yeah. This is supposed to be our fairly sized storage room, and the mud town was actually a way of us getting resources such as mangrove and mud and the wheat to make it into packed mud, and apparently a creeper just did some work for me. And yeah, so I just want to take a little break from the mud town, and I want to work on another part of the project that will, well, okay, another thing that will help us get materials for the project. Now, I already have the materials right here for a Prismarine farm. There is a specific design that I'm using, mostly because of its shape, and I have an idea on what I want to build around it. I know there's one over in this direction. I've already looked around quite a bit, but this appears to be the closest one, which not great. I would have liked to have one within render distance. Is this one within render distance? So I'm gonna choose this one because we actually have a little island over here to set up at. I'm actually gonna be using a little trick. So for those who don't know, TNT can technically break blocks underwater if they're considered, you know, obstructed. And an easy way of doing that, I gotta make sure I stay out of the range here, although it doesn't actually matter that much now that I think about it since I'm only using TNT. But I gotta find... Okay, so there is a guardian in the middle and these two sides here. So what you can do, essentially, is just dive straight in, put this, and put a sand on top of it, or anything that can fall, light the TNT, and it should blow up. So you don't actually have to cover it in blocks. All you have to do is just get it considered obstructed, which a sand falling on top of it actually does. So, perfect. And that's how you speedrun an ocean monument. So I had one success and one failure. I'm looking at the failure right now. I tried... yeah, you can see the allay there. I tried doing a sort of allay squid farm thing down below, but for some reason they kept just kind of wandering off outside of the note block range, so I think I'm going to scrap that for now. But the farm is, like, the Prismarine farm is actually doing pretty all right. That being said, I want to actually get into the building part of this Prismarine farm now. I have an interesting idea for it. Gotta get more sand. I'm so glad I have a super smelter for this now. Oh my gosh, that's the new bat. Oh yeah, by the way, I did update to 1.21. While getting the allays, I thought, oh yeah, I'm generating terrain that's not 1.21. I should probably do that real quick. Their head's so much bulkier. I like it though, they're cute. So I figured I should give you guys a progress update. First off, we managed to figure out the hourglass type shape that we wanted with this. That took a little while. I didn't really plan the proportions out all that well, so I had to give it multiple tries. But hey, we got something that I like in the end, at least. But as you can see, up here, we have like the platform here, which like the stone is mostly placeholder. I don't really know what color I want to do for the two sides of the hourglass yet. But as you can see, we're working at a little dragon over here. I'm just trying to get its face at the minute, because faces are pretty important to me, and like this is just about there. That now I'm starting to try and transition into the neck, which is proving quite difficult. As you can see, I've started using like walls and everything that I know to try and keep this boy as thin as possible. Remember, at the end of the day, a dragon is just a giant glorified noodle. So I've got the grand majority of the shape done, at least of the sea serpent. It's more of a serpent than a dragon at the minute. I ultimately ended up deciding to do like have the tail kind of lick back up towards this end. Mostly just to kind of balance it out, because the neck kind of leans off to the right by quite a bit, so having a little bit go out to the left I thought was a pretty good idea. And I was originally thinking, you know, going along the idea of a trident, of having 3 prongs, but now I'm like, I did the first 2, the original prong and this bit, and now I'm starting to wonder if like maybe I should just keep it at 2, because I don't know, it just looks cool. I gotta think on that at the minute. You have no idea how many times I've went back to the sugarcane farm here because of how many rockets this project is taking. Like, think about it. Most of the time, I'm spending time building a neck that is basically in midair. So, yeah, not my most pleasant building experience, but hey, at least it's looking cool. So I've done the fins of the dragon now, and it's a bunch of fences. It looks a lot better if you look at it from a distance, but if you look at like especially top down, it's a little bit of an issue. I should probably get a bunch of slabs to cover some of these bits up, and maybe also get some fence gates to clean this up a little. But a lot of it's here, so but to be quite frank, I am very tired of dealing with fences. So I think I'm going to work on the, I guess not lighting. I already kind of did the lighting, but like the coloring blocks, the shading, it like, I never really liked calling it shading because it's not really what it is. It to me, it feels more like coloring. I already kind of did a little bit here with the Prismarine bricks, but I kind of just stopped here because I don't know, actually. I just kind of forgot about it. I think I just had to log off for the night. I should probably discuss like what made me decide to do a dragon all of a sudden. And honestly, yeah, most of it just kind of came from the farm. I just looked up a farm and I tried to find one that would give me like a good building idea, because I have a tendency to make a farm and then just kind of leave it as is, and not exactly pretty looking. So I just wanted to make something that was a little more pretty, and I came across this design, and I kind of came like up with the idea of like a glass, like a hourglass. Yeah, that was this thing, and I thought it would be kind of weird looking if it was just by itself. So I thought of the idea of having a little sea serpent crawling around it. So the sea serpent, I think I was kind of subconsciously inspired by Rayquaza. If for those of you who don't know, yes, I am a pretty big Pokemon fan. In fact, while I was doing the coil around the glass here, I was, or actually, no, I think it was the fences here. I was just listening into a bunch of like 9-year-old like top 10 Pokemon lists. I guess another inspiration for this dragon we have here, did I have it? Yeah, I think I had it like this, is like the dragons you see from Breath of the Wild. Zelda Breath of the Wild, or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I think that's its full name. Not that anybody cares. I think everybody just calls it Zelda Breath of the Wild, or just Breath of the Wild. But I've seen like dragons in the distance of that game. I'll admit I have not completed the game because okay, open worlds and me, or open worlds and I forget the exact wording, but we have a complicated relationship. I have no idea how much of that I'm going to leave in the final product because a lot of that had nothing to do with this dragon. I went on a rant about like a mill tank. I'm just real. I just sometimes when I'm editing, you guys have no idea how much I cut out when I'm editing. It is genuinely insane. Like, I'm probably gonna cut like 15 minutes of this rant out. Just you wait. Can you not? Okay, that's it. I'm coming after you. You're done. Get out of here. Nope. Nope. You ain't getting away. You ain't getting away. That's the most unfortunate part about this is because you just keep getting harassed by these guys. I would call this deforestation, but considering that it's in the Nether, I don't think it can get much worse, so... Okay, so the sea serpent, or dragon, or whatever you want to call it, is basically finished. I ultimately decided not to go with the arms because, I don't know, there's something a bit more serene about it just being a sea serpent. To me, maybe it's... I don't know. But in any case... yeah, we ended up getting all of the warped wood down here, kind of as its underbelly, which I thought brought out its shape a good bit. And as you can see, I ended up putting those slabs on top of these bits, but I did not quite have enough time to do acacia fence gates in the places where it would be beneficial. But in any case... I am probably going to go ahead and read the comment of the day. This one is by Silverstone6686. Van, I think this is one of your best videos yet. I loved it so much, and I think that you did a great job with building and explaining the inspiration you got for your builds. I also really like the pacing of your videos, and especially this one, not too fast and not too slow. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the comments. Whether or not I'll actually take that compliment, I guess is up to me. I don't take compliments well, I'll be honest. But I do really appreciate it. Yeah, the whole thing with the like pacing, like the whole explaining the builds and pacing kind of go hand in hand, because sometimes when you are editing, you realize that you kind of over explain it, or you go too much into depth and realize I don't think people will want to hear that much about it. So yeah, it's kind of hard to balance, but you know, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a challenge that is always kind of fun. YouTube's fun for me. That's just how I am, I guess. I don't know. I like being challenged. But yeah. With that, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one.